We get a couple of short chapters today, Kitty.
Different POVs.
Yep, a Sawzed and a spook. The big revelation. So much of my mind was on Way of Kings this week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Hero of Ages. You fell a little bit by the wayside. But guys, come on. This week's assigned Way of Kings reading was 68. Can you blame us?
Yeah. Look, I read Hero of Ages days before I did Way of Kings, though. So, yeah, they had enough time. Both of them had enough time to languish in my mind.
Excellent. I should consider doing that. It's okay. We've got several blind blinds coming up in Way of Kings, which means over the weeks, Hero of Ages will get my undivided attention. All of that said, the big takeaway I got from the Sawzed POV was the Terracemen don't die by mist?
Yes. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Come on, Sawzed. And it's very difficult. Like, he gets a little bit curious about that. And you're like, you should be flabbergasted like the rest of us. But we know nothing can pierce this fog of depression right now.
Right. And coming off the revelations of last chapter with the 16%, one wonders how this could skew that or where that fits in.
Yeah, is this going to repair the terrorist population, make them a majority? No, again, no, 16. I don't know. Balances it out.
Yeah, I think it means we've made comparisons to the chosen people, and we think the mist is snapping people. We know the Terracemen are ferochemists. I don't think we've ever heard of a Terrace Allomancer except for the Lord Ruler.
Yeah.
So it could be that the Terrace are chosen by preservation in some way.
Yeah, and it just could be the main indicator that they don't need to be snapped. They can't snap. So what's the point?
Yeah, especially considering we think the Lord Ruler got allomancy from the metal bead and not necessarily from snapping.
Yeah. So the genetics of allomancy don't exist. The genetics of allomancy doesn't exist in the Terrace genome, I suppose, unless they obviously mix with Scar. But yeah, that would be cool. Sorry, but yeah, they. I think that's the big clue for us, is that they are not being snapped. They can't be. So the mist is leaving them alone.
So that I'm gonna bring it back to the Terracemen, circle back around, but join with me on this stroll as we get there. I was still reeling from my theory from last week about the Vinquisitor. Inquisitor.
Yes.
Because really, when you think about it, she hears Reen's voice as whispers, and we know that is something that Zane heard. We know that Marsh is controlled, that this is a symptom of the Inquisitors hearing ruin. We know that her mother killed her sister messily, and we know hemalurgy is messy. We know that Vin's mom was schizophrenic, or rather that she heard voices. And there has been this focus on the earring. Now, whether or not it's the earring specifically that does the hemalurgy, or if it's some other hidden metal spike in her that she doesn't even know about. Maybe she grew and it's just there piercing her heart and she doesn't know about it or something.
Tony Stark style, yeah.
Yeah, I really sincerely do think there's something there. Oh, and I've been re-listening to the Way of Kings audiobook to get the death rattles, and I did revisit Cabsal's discussion about man as having dual nature, which fits into what we're learning about ruin and preservation and so on. It's all swirling around together. Anyway, it got my mind to thinking about the Terrace and the similarities between hemalurgy, which is piercing the skin, piercings, and the fact that we know that the Terrace have ritual piercings as part of their culture. The Lord Ruler did, presumably the others did. We know Alendi got piercings to help fit into the prophecies, although that may well have been Ruin messing with the Terrace prophecies so that he could try to influence, which is a really interesting thought that I've just had now for the first time. Anyway, we've brought it back to the Terrace, and I'm noting their cultural piercings, their possible position as preservation's chosen ones, and the similarity between piercings and hemalurgy.
But you're not asserting that the Terrace are hemalurgians.
No, I'm just saying there seems to be some suspicious levels of overlap that I think we might learn more about in the future.
Yeah. What confuses me about the whole thing, that we need to learn more about hemalurgy, because it seems like each spike, each piercing, each death, or whatever,
strengthens Ruin's control over the person.
Well, it strengthens them, yes. Strengthens the Ruin's control, but it gives them a certain power. Okay, yes. So the first, the Inquisitors seem to have a spike. The original Inquisitors seem to have a spike per metal. So how does that work for Vin? If the Vinquisitor thing, is it when you're a child, if you're pierced a certain way? She is a full Mistborn. So I don't know if she's half hemalurgy, and then she was given a bead of some sort, and she is also full Allomancer or something. There's questions there that still need to be answered. So the theory is there, but it needs to be clarified how it works.
I was under the impression from Zane and from the fight at the start of this book that the metal atium is used to confer upon someone via hemalurgy Mistborn powers.
Okay. So the others are singular, but atium makes it you are Mistborn.
That's what I thought. I could be wrong. But
I think that makes sense. I mean, that's very valuable metal, and it's very special.
We know that Zane had only an atium spike, at least as far as we're aware.
Yeah. And what the hell, just thinking about that, right? Just going back to the whole thing of Zane's spike. What the hell was Straff doing? Huh?
Yeah.
Straff obviously was I'm so frustrated with, it's taking forever for these children to grow up and whatever and get snapped and what. Let's just hemalurge him.
Yeah.
And wow, he got away with that. Because the Lord Ruler wouldn't. I don't think the Lord Ruler would be a fan of that.
I completely agree. I think all of that was done under the Inquisitors' secrecy, especially since Straff wasn't even supposed to have bastards. They're supposed to die.
Yeah. Yes, you're supposed to just run out and kill them. Anyway, lots and lots and lots. Such a rich world. So many theories, because that's just what Branderson's about. It could be this, it could be that, and the revelation will come when I decide. He's
in the last 3 chapters.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to the No One Asked You podcast. For this particular series, I am joined by my wonderful co-host, That Darn Kitty.
Dorkus and I are both going into the story completely new, with almost no knowledge of the story or world. Each segment will cover what happens in each new chapter while discussing our experience along the way.
This is The Hero of Ages. It's all in the pages, a blind read-through. And today we are covering chapters 22 and 23.
22 and 23. E.
E. I have cracked the spine of my book. Oh no. You should see the condition of my Way of Kings book. That is just pages falling out.
They're just loved. That's all. There's
Yes.
pages falling out of my Wheel of Time books. It's crazy.
Aw.
They are like over 10 years old, but
The memories. The beads of metal found at the well, beads that made men into Mistborn, were the reason Allomancers used to be more powerful. We knew this. We've already figured this out.
But
or rather, been told.
Yeah. So, okay, it's fine. What is it setting up to tell us?
Yeah. Those first Mistborn were as Ellen Venture became, possessing a primal power, which was then passed down through the lines of the nobility, weakening a bit with each generation.
Also, no. And also, I guess what it just does is it confirms it's not Ellen writing this. I think we've had several mentions of Ellen Venture or the Emperor, whatever, something, to show that it's not Ellen writing. So, yeah, it is. I think it is Sazed.
Haha, finally gotcha. Although, I guess I want to know where these metal spheres come from. I think I've put out the theory that they are condensed mist, but really, Allomancy's gonna die out in several generations. I mean, maybe that's a big part of why the Lord Ruler was so into the nobles and birthing programs, more so than trying to keep the Terracemen from creating another one of him. Nah, I think it could have been both. Or
yeah, it was. Well, maybe then if he's controlling breeding and there is another one of him, he then gets to take that person.
Well, because I'm also working under the supposition that the Lord Ruler knew he was not the hero of ages. And was therefore trying to maybe make or breed the hero of ages?
Yeah.
In some way.
But still, why do it so freaking cruelly? Like, and sterilize everyone else. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, like, I definitely think Rashek was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just the leaving of these metal plates with instructions is why I've come to wonder if he was trying to breed the hero of ages.
Yeah. Like, that's also why we've asked ourselves, why wouldn't he just destroy all the Terrace people then? What's the point? But yeah, so maybe.
I mean, he believed. Well, it's sort of a weird thing because he believed that the hero of ages was supposed to be a Terraceman. So that's kind of a weird thing. At the same time, I am totally getting why he would try and remove religion from the world, knowing that Ruin manipulates it. That I get now.
Yeah, but he the thing is he made his own religion. I suppose that's
yeah. With metal sheets though.
Yeah. Just another thing, I'm still unclear about when Allomancy came into the world. Did it come into the world? Did he create Allomancy? Was it there already?
I don't think so.
At the Well of Ascension? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was there already, maybe. I'm kind of wondering if it's not dissimilar to the Everstorm, where every 1,000 years a hero rises. Ruin and preservation try to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the beads aren't replenished, which is annoying. Like, so there was just one left. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, there was one left because the Lord Ruler gave the rest to his supporters. Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying there weren't others, that it hadn't replenished in the 1,000 years. There were no other beads. Yeah.
The Lord Ruler was one of these ancient Allomancers, his power pure and unadulterated by time and breeding. That is part of why he was so mighty compared to other Mistborn, though admittedly his ability to mix feruchemy and allomancy was what produced many of his most spectacular abilities. Still, it is interesting to me that one of his divine powers, his essential allomantic strength, was something every one of the original 9 Allomancers possessed. Yeah, 9 Ellens would be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
perhaps enough to push on Ruin and force him into a prison?
Are we gonna get a new 9 Allomancers? Reassemble.
Folks, I had a very important call occur mid-record. Good news. Whatever it was we were saying before the call has totally flown out of my mind. Do you remember what we were talking about, Kitty?
I was just talking about the are we going to need 9 Allomancers to assemble to fight Ruin, and your theory was that they would be strong enough to push Ruin into a prison. You were musing about it, that's all.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. So what I was thinking was something to the effect of, because I've been working with this people of Earth, lend me your energy idea, pushing on Ruin in order to stop him. What if it was a cadre of 10 Allomancers who are supposed to arise at a time that Ruin is attempting to break free, and they are all supposed to jointly push on Ruin to reaffirm the strength of the prison. And obviously that is not what ended up happening at the well. But let me think. Like, there's Sazed, Elend, Vin, Spook, Breeze, Ham. That's 6. Who else is there?
Alrian.
Is she one of the crew, though? Yeah, okay. Alrian. I don't think it would be Set.
No. Demure. Maybe he snapped.
Yep. Great call there. Are there 2 more?
To be revealed.
Yeah. I doubt it would be Noordan. Or Asur, maybe? I don't...
Well, what about the girl that Spook is, like,
Beldre?
after as well? She could be Beldre. We could develop her.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting.
And the Citizen.
The Citizen. No way is he the hero of ages, or one of them.
The friendship. The friends we made along the way. No, he's not a friend.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get there. We're theorizing madly. This is one of the biggest, heaviest theory episodes we've had in a while.
Yeah.
I think we've been through like 3 or 4 now.
Mm-hmm. Sazed sat in one of the nicer buildings at the pits of Hathson, a former guardhouse, holding a mug of hot tea. The terrace elders sat in chairs before him, a small stove providing warmth. On the next day, Sazed would have to leave to catch up with Goradel and Breeze, who would be well on their way to Urtio by now. So Sazed's taken his time catching up.
Yeah, but I think he needs to do this. He needs to check on his people, and yeah, I guess he's dragging his feet as well.
Yeah, he should get on it, though. Don't want to make them slow down to wait for you. Especially
they're
since...
They're gonna need you, Sazed.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, Breeze cannot do this one from what we know of the Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Although, imagine they get there and Spook is doing his Batman thing trying to take down the Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think would happen? Do you think that Sazed and Breeze will be roped into trying to help Spook perhaps murder the Citizen?
Yeah, I would hope so. They're on the same side.
But that's not
we don't know
way.
Where Spook is. Yeah, it's not Ellen's way, and it's not Sazed's way, I suppose. But when they see what the Citizen is all about, it's all bets are off.
Yeah, this is...
Or maybe the people will kill him anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. The sunlight was dimming, the mists had already come, and they hung right outside the glass window. Sazed could barely make out depressions in the dark ground outside, cracks in the earth. There were dozens of the cracks. The terrace people had built fences to mark them. Only a few years ago, before Kelsier had destroyed the atium crystals, men had been forced to crawl down into those cracks, seeking small geodes that had beads of atium at their center. Quick recap, and very cracky.
Mm-hmm. Makes me wonder if atium is like developing again. Like, it takes thousands of years, but everything's out of whack.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe maybe Atium is replenishing. Who knows? But
Possibly.
nobody's going to go down there unless somebody falls into one of them and then finds Atium.
Yeah. You know what? This is a stretch even for me in my theorizing. But do you think there's a connection to be made between the cracks here and the shattered planes being cracky?
Not a real connection, just a similarity.
Okay. Yeah, I think
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that, Kitty. Each slave who hadn't been able to find at least one geode a week had been executed. There were likely still hundreds, perhaps thousands of corpses pinned beneath the ground, lost in deep caverns, dead without anyone knowing or caring. What a terrible place this was, Sazed thought, turning away from the window as a young terrace woman closed the shutters. Before him on the table were several ledgers that showed the resources, expenditures, and needs of the terrace people. I believe I suggested keeping these figures in metal, Sazed said. Good, Sazed.
Yeah, that is good, Sazed. That is the closest to being snappy Sazed would be. It's like, I believe I suggested keeping these figures in metal. Hello. It's instead of why didn't you keep this in metal? It's it's passive aggressive. But yeah, he's at least he's saying what a terrible place this was. Okay, past tense. Good. It's not terrible anymore.
Yeah. No, look, I don't so much think it's passive aggressive as much as I think it is Sazed trying not to be a leader. He's trying not to be like, I told you to do this. Why haven't you done it?
Yes.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
yeah,
I thought I suggested.
Yeah, he's purposefully passive in that way. It's like, I don't, I suggested. I didn't tell you, but I suggested.
Yep. Yes, Master Keeper, said one of the elderly stewards. We copy the important figures into a sheet of metal each evening, then check them weekly against the ledgers to make certain nothing has changed. I'm glad that they are doing that then. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Diligence. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Really smart. I don't know what need Ruin would have to change those figures, but it is still wise.
Mm-hmm.
And the more people for whom it becomes common knowledge that Ruin can do that is good. That is well, Sazed said, picking through one of the ledgers sitting in his lap. And sanitation? Have you addressed those issues since my last visit?
Yes, Master Keeper,
said another man.
We have prepared many more latrines as you commanded, though we do not need them.
There may be refugees. I wish for you to be able to care for a larger population should it become necessary. But please, these are merely suggestions, not commands. I claim no authority over you. I mean, I wish for you to be able to care for a larger population is very leadery.
Yeah, but yeah, so he wants good things for these people, but it's like, oh, they're only suggestions. It's like, well, what if they're not doing this without you? You kind of need to do it, okay? Sorry for you. Everyone's doing things they don't want to do, or they don't particularly feel like they are suited to, but you're just going to have to deal, Sazed. And yeah, he's trying to just make sure everybody knows it's just suggestions, but he's upset when the suggestions aren't, or disappointed when the suggestions aren't taken into account or taken seriously, or he was worried that was happening with the metal and all of that, but they have listened to him. But yeah, he's just like, I claim no authority over you. It's like, well, you don't have to claim it. You have it. Sorry.
Yeah.
The thing is, you did just suggest this, and people did it as if it was a command. So, oopsie, you're just the leader.
Yep, really straddling that line there, Sazed. The group of stewards shared glances. Sazed had been busy during his time with them, which had kept him from dwelling on his melancholy thoughts. Good, Sazed. Don't, become a workaholic type of a situation, but yes, keep busy. Keep doing things.
Maybe find some joy as well. Like, your people are doing better than they actually have in a very long time, so... Now at the end of the world, pretty sad, but yeah.
He'd made sure they had enough supplies, that they kept a good communication with Penrod and Luthadel, and that they had a system in place for settling disputes among themselves. That all sounds very leaderly.
But it's just it's out of the goodness of his heart. It's what he wants for the people.
Yeah. I mean, he's a person who just sort of naturally cares for others. So he's doing his keepery things.
Yeah. His preservation things. But I wonder if another leader came along and was doing things wrong, what would he be more assertive? Would he be pushed to be more assertive?
One would hope.
Master Keeper, one of the elders finally said, how long will you be staying?
I must leave in the morning, I fear, Sazed said. I came simply to check on your needs. This is a difficult time to live in, and you could be easily forgotten by those in Lucidel, I think.
We are well, Master Keeper,
said one of the others. He was the youngest of the elders, and he was only a few years younger than Sazed. Most of the men here were far older and wiser than he. That they should look to him seemed wrong. But then a female keeper asks a thing.
Will you not reconsider your place with us, Master Keeper?
Asked another.
We want not for food or for land. Yet what we do lack is a leader.
The Terrace people were oppressed long enough, I think, Sazed said. You have no need for another tyrant king.
Not a tyrant, one said. One of our own.
I mean, what makes you think you would be a tyrant, Sazed?
Yeah. Like, what are all kings tyrants now, huh?
I mean, isn't that kind of what Elend thinks?
Yeah. Commies everywhere.
The Lord Ruler was one of our own, Sazed said quietly. The group of men looked down. I'm so glad that he said it, because this story could have gone a direction where they tried to hide that fact. It's interesting to me, and the implications it could mean for future, let's say, prejudices, etc.
Yeah.
That the Lord Ruler was Terrace.
But it's just like it's balanced out by what he did to the Terrace people. So it's like, yeah, you can't act like we were complicit with the Lord Ruler. The Lord Ruler would treated us worse than the Scar.
Yeah. That the Lord Ruler had proven to be Terrace was a shame to their entire people.
We need someone to guide us, one of the men said. Even during the days of the Lord Ruler, he was not our leader. We looked to the Keeper Synod.
We've got quite a few Terracemen this chapter. The clandestine leaders of Sazed's sect had led the Terrace people for centuries, secretly working to make certain that ferochemy endured, despite the Lord Ruler's attempts to breed the power out of the people. Their sudden eradication at the hands of the Inquisitors was a severe blow.
Just to recap there that, hey, yeah, they were kind of slaughtered previously.
Yep.
Master Keeper,
said Master Vedlu, senior of the elders. Yes, Master Wedlu?
You do not wear your copper mines.
Sazed looked down. He hadn't realized it was noticeable that, beneath his robes, he wasn't wearing the metal bracers. They are in my pack.
It seems odd to me, Vedlu said, that you should work so hard during the Lord Ruler's time, always wearing your metal mines in secret, despite the danger. Yet now that you are free to do as you wish, you carry them in your pack.
Yeah, Sazed. He has a very, very good point.
Yeah?
What are you doing with your freedom, Sazed?
Making important stylistic choices. But look, seriously, he does. If I felt that Ruin messed with my metal mind memories, I probably wouldn't want to plunge through those memories anytime soon.
True, but that's not the only kind of metal mind we can use.
Fair. Sazed shook his head. I cannot be the man you wish me to be. Not now.
You are a keeper.
I was the lowest of them. Ah, but Tindwyl thought you were the not lowest. Greatest?
The best of them.
The best of them. Trust in her, Sazed. in her assessment of you. I know it's hard.
No, but-
Harder, easier said
Yeah.
than done.
Mm.
A rebel and a reject. They cast me from their presence. The last time I left Tassingdven, I did so in disgrace. The common people cursed me in the quiet of their homes.
Now they bless you, Master Sazed,
said one of the men.
I do not deserve those blessings.
Deserves them or not, you are all we have left.
Then we are a sorrier people than we may appear.
The room fell silent. Yeah, sure. Now that everyone else is gone, you come crying to me.
Mm.
Sazed could take this
that-
moment to be petty, but he chooses not to.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's still taking this moment to not step up.
Yeah.
There was another reason I came here, Master Wedlu.
Sazed said, looking up.
Tell me, have any of your people died recently in odd circumstances?
Of what do you speak?
The aged terraceman asked.
Mist deaths, Sazed said. Men who are killed by simply going out into the mists during the day.
That is a tale of the Ska,
one of the other men scoffed.
The mists are not dangerous.
Indeed,
Sazed said carefully.
Do you send your people out to work in them during the daylight hours, when the mists have not yet retreated for the day?
Of course we do,
said the younger terraceman.
Why, it would be foolish to let those hours of work pass.
Aha! Revelation!
Yes, so yeah, they're completely unfazed. They're like, oh, it wasn't true in the first place anyway. So they're very lucky that actually, it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, one attack and they would probably think twice about sending men out to work.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, lucky.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they would be like, yeah, it's a tale of the Scar. And it's like, yeah, but also the Scar are dying. So just so you know, don't be telling the Scar that it's okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sazed found it difficult not to let his curiosity focus on that fact. Terracemen weren't killed by the day mists. What was the connection? And please tell Vin, because she's working
Yes.
harder than you are on this
Come on.
thing.
Yeah.
He tried to summon the mental energy to think on the issue, but he felt traitorously apathetic. He just wanted to hide
Aw.
somewhere. What?
I'm just lamenting. I just made a sad noise.
He just wanted to hide somewhere where nobody would expect anything of him, where he wouldn't have to solve the problems of the world or even deal with his own religious crisis. Yet a little part of him, a spark from before, refused to simply give up. Yes! Hold on to that. Good man.
Yes.
He would at least continue his research and would do what Elend and Vin asked of him. It wasn't all he could do, and it wouldn't satisfy the terracemen who sat here looking at him with needful expressions. But for the moment, it was all Sazed could offer. To stay at the pits would be a surrender, he knew. He needed to keep moving, keep working.
I'm sorry,
he said to the men setting aside the ledger.
but this is how it must be.
Poor Sazed.
Yeah, it's a long road for Sazed. I'm glad he had some sort of curiosity.
Yeah. But look, it is important for the terracemen to learn self-sufficiency and an ability to speak up for themselves instead of relying on a leader. It's
But I think any group of people does need some sort of representative,
also true.
some sort of leader. So it doesn't matter. Them learning to stand up for themselves, etc., would involve finding their own leader that isn't of the old world, I suppose. I'm sure that they do. They have the senior elders and whatever, but they do want keepers as their leaders. Keepers have all the knowledge. They're the wisest.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we want them to lead us?
Yeah, except that Sazed's the last one.
Mhm.
For now.
And the most depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next chapter, the spook chapter.
Mhm. Yeah.
During the early days of Kelsier's original plan, I remember how much he confused us all with his mysterious 11th metal. He claimed that there were legends of a mystical metal that would let one slay the Lord Ruler, and that Kelsier had located that metal through intense research. I remember this.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, he just didn't know what to do with the metal because it couldn't kill the Lord Ruler.
Yep. Although it did play its part, small though it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody really knew what he did in the years between his escape from the pits of Hathson and his return to Luthadel. When pressed, he simply said that he had been in the West. Somehow in his wanderings, he discovered stories that no keeper had ever heard. Most of the crew didn't know what to make of the legends he spoke of. This might have been the first seed that made even his oldest friends begin to question his leadership. I do remember everyone turning on him.
Yeah, thinking that he was just in it for the power and making stuff up so that he could be, the big charismatic leader. But it's like that was part of his plan, so that he could become a religious figure.
Yeah, but good memories.
Mm-hmm.
In the eastern lands near the wastelands of grit and sand, a young boy fell to the ground inside a ska shack. It was many years before the collapse, and the Lord Ruler still lived. Not that the boy knew of such things. He was a dirty, ragged thing, like most other ska children in the Final Empire. So I read that, and I was like, new POV? What do you mean we're before the end of the Lord Ruler, before the end of the collapse? I had so many questions.
Yeah, and I was like, what are you going to reveal to us? We're in a flashback here, and we know flashbacks are important, whatever. So what are we going to be taught here? And I thought it might have been just an ancillary character that is used to make this, to demonstrate something.
That, or to set something up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just that it's not... Yeah, maybe introduce a new character, but for me, at this point, I was like, okay, it's just a boy, and we're going to have some revelation, and that's it.
Yeah. Too young to be put to work in the mines, he spent his days ducking away from his mother's care and running about with the packs of children who foraged in the dry, dusty streets. Spook hadn't been that boy for some 10 years. In a way, he was aware that he was delusional, that the fever of his wounds was causing him to come in and out of consciousness, dreams of the past filling his mind. He let them run, staying focused required too much energy. So, here it's pretty much spelled out that this is Spook going through fever and delusions and so on. Nevertheless, I did find it confusing from then on whether or not we were in current era time experiencing flashbacks or if we were in the flashback, if that makes sense. And I think some of that was by design, but I think some of it was also me being dumb.
I think what is interesting is that he didn't have his name Spook at this time, but I think that's what makes this confusing is during this POV he is Spook, but at this so he is experiencing the flashback as who he is now.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of weirdly executed. Actually, I don't think it's wholly that I'm done. If this second paragraph had been the first paragraph, and the second and the first paragraph became the second, I think it would have been clearer to me.
I like the way this is done because it is showing the feverishness, the strength. It's like because it is essentially a dream sequence. I like that it's written in a unusual way.
Yeah. But then it also brings up the question, what is Spook doing right now? We presume he's burning pewter, probably, which is what I imagine is what's keeping him alive. But we don't know where he went. We don't know if he's seen a doctor or anything quite like that. Because I think the rest of this chapter is in the past, yeah?
Yes, yeah, it's wherever he is now, we still don't know. I was hoping in the rest of the chapter that we would have some indication of where he is. And so he wakes up from the fever and we know where he is, but we don't get that.
Yeah.
I just assume, okay, well, we've got him alive and we actually we literally are just getting a flashback. This is where maybe there's some sort of clues here, but it's mostly just giving us just a bit more of where Spook comes from, the hardship he has endured, and just a really sad fact that we get about Spook.
Yeah. And so he remembered what it felt like as he hit the ground. A large man, all men were large compared with Spook, stood over him, skin dirtied with the dust and grime of a miner. The man spat on the dirty floor beside Spook, then turned to the other ska in the room. There were many. One was crying, the tears leaving clean lines on her cheek, washing away the dust.
All right, the large man said. We have him. Now what?
Because this is the dad, right? Or
Yeah, and that's another thing about this is that the dream likeness of it is like he doesn't particularly pick up. Oh, it's the dad. Yes, it's my dad. Like it's I like this kind of in and out of consciousness idea.
Yeah. The people glanced at each other. One quietly closed the shack's door, shutting out the red sunlight.
There's only one thing to be done, another man said. We turn them in.
Spook looked up. He met the eyes of the crying woman. She glanced away. Wasn't aware of what? Spook demanded. Hey, we got that dialect back.
Yeah, because we're back in the past. But I love that it still says Spook demanded, because that's where his mind is.
The large man spat again, setting a boot on Spook's neck, pushing him down on the rough wood.
You shouldn't have let him run around with those street gangs, Morgel. Damn boy is barely coherent now.
So we get why why they're speaking normally and he isn't.
Yeah.
Also, I think just in terms of not having the reveal that this is his father yet is very good. Because you're like, wow, he's being treated so horribly by this guy. And then you have the reveal that it is the father. You have an idea of a crying woman. You're like, okay, that's probably his mom. But there's a lot of men around. And so you're not too sure whether this is his father or not. And I think that's what's cool about not revealing him as a father is like you first get this horrible treatment and then you realize, holy crap, that's his dad.
Yeah. It's a blow. It is a devastating blow. Like you think Vin had it bad. Your own dad wants to get you.
Yeah.
What happens if we give him up? Asked one of the other men. I mean, what if they decide we're like him? They could have us executed. I've seen it before. You turn someone in and those things come searching for everyone who knew him.
Problems like his run in the family, they do, another man said.
The room grew quiet. They all knew about Spook's family. Okay, so here it's revealed. So he's been discovered as a Tin Eye. And that poses a danger not just to him, but to the entire family as well. And not just the family, but all of those around the family, too.
Yeah. So it's like, we're not just going to kill the illegitimate child or whatever that's suddenly sprung up. We're going to kill everyone around them just by implication. It's just, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. We know that this is the kind of world that was happening with the Lord Ruler.
Yeah. And I think it's actually quite good to have this flashback here because it does feel like we are so far removed now from the reign of the Lord Ruler. Like, not since book one. It's been a hell of a journey since then. It's good to remind us of this.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll kill us, said the frightened man. You know they will. I've seen them with those spikes in their eyes. Spirits of death they are.
We can't just let him run about, another man said. They'll discover what he is. There's only one thing to be done, the large man said, pressing down on Spook's neck even harder. The room's occupants, the ones Spook could see, nodded solemnly. They couldn't turn him in. They couldn't let him go. But nobody would miss a Ska urchin. No inquisitor or obligator would ask twice about a dead child found in the streets. Ska died all the time. That was the way of the final empire. Oof.
Yeah, this is...
But then it gets even oofier.
Yep.
Father, Spook whispered. Oh, poor Spook. That's his father.
Like, you could still know, but you could still go, oh, his father's in the crowd, right? And he's asking his dad to help him. Nope. It's actually...
The heel
is of his father.
Yeah. The heel came down harder.
You're not my son. My son went into the mists and never came out. You must be a mist wraith.
Oh, that helps you. That helps you. You make sense of all this, bastard.
Spook tried to object, but his neck was pressed down too tight. He couldn't breathe, let alone speak. The room started to grow black, yet his ears, supernaturally sensitive, enhanced by powers he barely understood, heard something. Oh yeah, totally forgot. Because I was so kind of scattered up to this point, I wondered if we were about to see Spook snap. And I had thought, getting up to this point, how great it would be for us to actually see someone snap. Because
we haven't seen that, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think what we saw with Spook in the previous chapter with him counts entirely as a snapping. That doesn't strike me as a typical snapping. So I thought that was what we were going to see here, and I thought it was going to illuminate for us, the readers, possibly something about the mist snapping people. But ultimately, that's not what happened.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's already been established that they've found him out. So it's clearly he's already snapped.
Yeah. Yet his ears, supernaturally sensitive, enhanced by powers he barely understood, heard something. Coins. The pressure on his neck grew weaker. He was able to gasp for breath, his vision returning, and there, spilled on the ground before him, was a scattering of beautiful copper coins. Ska weren't paid for their work. The miners were given goods instead, barely enough to survive on. Yet Spook had seen coins occasionally passing between noble hands. He'd once known a boy who had found a coin, lost in the dusty grime of the street. That's cute. Sad, but cute.
It's just like, wow, I knew a guy, guys. I knew a guy that found a coin. And like, it's just to show you what kind of life he was living.
Yeah. A larger boy had killed him for it. Then a nobleman had killed that boy when he'd tried to spend it. It seemed to Spook that no Ska would want coins. They were far too valuable, far too dangerous, yet every eye in the room stared at that spilled bag of wealth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still something. They're valuable. It makes sense. And then it just makes me think of Vin as well, the way she was with using coins to move. It was like she would always collect them back. Because she's like, this is not... We don't just throw this stuff around.
Yeah. The bag in exchange for the boy, a voice said. Bodies parted to where a man sat at a table at the back of the room. He wasn't looking at Spook. He just sat quietly, spooning gruel into his mouth. Sir, how long were you sitting there, letting the boy be beaten before you decided to interject?
Yeah.
Was it a dramatic reveal? Sure. But was it necessary? No.
He needed them to get to this point, and I don't know.
He just sat quietly spooning gruel into his mouth. His face was gnarled and twisted, like leather that had been sitting in the sun for far too long. Well, the gnarled man said between bites. Where did you get this kind of money? Spook's father demanded. None of your business. We can't let this boy go. He'll betray us. Once they catch him, he'll tell them that we knew. They won't catch him, the gnarled man said, taking another bite of food. He'll be with me, in Luthadel. Besides, if you don't let him go, I'll go ahead and tell the obligators about you all. He paused, lowering his spoon, glancing at the crowd with a crusty look. Unless you're going to kill me too. Badass clubs!
Yeah, these guys are just... He's in another league. He's dealt with thieves and things like that. He's a badass.
Yep. Spook's father finally took his heel off Spook's neck as he stepped toward the gnarled stranger, but Spook's mother grabbed her husband's arm.
Don't, Jedal,
she said softly, but not too softly for Spook's enhanced ears.
He'll kill you.
I love it. I mean, not the content. I mean, the content's great, but I mean Kitty's voice. Yay. He is a traitor, Spook's father spat. Servant in the Lord Ruler's army.
He brought us coins. Surely taking his money is better than simply killing the boy.
Spook's father looked down at the woman.
You did this? You sent for your brother? You knew he'd want to take the boy?
Spook's mother turned away. Aw, but she's protecting her son.
Yeah, he's my child.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here.
Poor woman.
Jedal, get out.
The gnarled man set down his spoon, then stood. People pulled away from his chair in apprehension. He walked with a pronounced limp as he crossed the room. So this is after his time in the Lord Ruler's army.
Yeah. But the fact is it's known that that he is servant in the Lord Ruler's army.
Yeah, but because of the limp, I presume this is after that. Like, he's not currently doing it. Come on, boy, he said, not looking at Spook as he opened the door. Spook rose slowly, tentatively. He glanced at his mother and father as he backed away. Probably the last time he ever sees them.
Yep. And no thanks, bye. Thanks, Mom, kind of, but Jedal, bye.
Jedal stooped down, gathering up the coins. Margel met Spook's eyes, then turned away.
This is all I can give you?
Her posture seemed to say. Spook turned, rubbing his neck, and rushed into the hot red sunlight after the stranger. The older man hobbled along, walking with a cane. He glanced at Spook as he walked. You have a name, boy? Spook opened his mouth, then stopped. His old name didn't seem like it would do anymore.
Lestabornis, he said.
Not just a Spook origin story, but a Lestabornis origin story.
Yeah, we still don't know Spook's actual real first name.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not Jedal Jr.
Well, yeah. He can leave that name behind.
Yeah. The old man didn't bat an eye. Later, Kelsier would decide that Lestabornis was too difficult to say and would name him Spook instead. Spook never did figure out whether or not clubs knew how to speak Eastern Street slang. I bet he didn't. Why would he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's in the underground, but it is Eastern, so it's like he's in Lutherdale, so.
Yeah. Even if he did, Spook doubted that he'd understood the reference. Lestabornes, lefting I'm born. Street slang for, I've been abandoned. Ah, so sad.
Yeah, that is really, it was, that hit a nerve quite hard.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, he was abandoned. Like, his mom did save him, but yeah, it was still abandonment. But it is his real uncle. So
yes.
There's that. At least he is with someone.
Not totally abandoned. New family.
Yeah. Exactly.
So 2 very short chapters, but very intriguing nonetheless. Spook's okay for the moment, but he might need a stim pack.
Yeah, I am wondering, is this just part of us getting more characterization for the hurt that Spook has gone through, and that will help him become a bad guy? I hope it helps him become a good guy. That's all. I hope that that's not what this was for, to show that he has a really bad origin story. He has pain in his past, and therefore we must understand if he changes. I don't want that.
I agree. I think that's all I got for now.
Same. Like the video, guys.
If you like, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. Subscribe to That Darn Kitta if you get a chance, because she's got a great channel.
Subscribe to this channel, because you know it's great.
It would be greatly appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, bye.